Hello people, this is Power here to review the Kamen Rider Saber DX Jikokuken Kaiji. So this is the Henshin Seiken of Kamen Rider Durandal, or Durandal. The obviously rider to come after Sabella. Took some time, surprisingly. Obviously we got the Kaiji in its spear lance mode. And here we have it in sword mode. Here a picture you can't even see. I don't think I showed the bottom for Sabella. And obviously just another extended picture. And again, here is Durandal in the back. Obviously you can connect this with the other video with Sabella. I can't do that because it's too long. But you can see just the two, or part of Sabella's rider symbol and fully Caliber. I just want to call this guy Caliber for some reason. So here's the Seiken out of its box. Obviously have to zoom out really far away because this thing is large. This is probably the second largest Seiken we've gotten, because this one and the Noroshi are pretty long themselves. I forgot to actually compare. I think this one's a bit taller, or a bit longer than even the Cross Saber, but you can just tell. This one is definitely the longest one we have, I think, compared to the Gekido, because obviously the whole gimmick of that one is that it's large. But I would say the Kaiji is actually pretty impressive. I like, again, just like the Noroshi, I like the simplicity of it. It's mostly black plastic with a blue outline, and then you get the red, then mostly yellow translucent plastic, pliable plastic. Here's his rider's symbol. It's on the hilt, which, you know, you're gonna your hand's supposed to be over it. But, like, other than that, this is, like, a really impressive sword. Like, I really like this. And, obviously, it's kind of floppy because of its gimmick. Obviously, this is where you're going to insert the Wonder Ride book and such. This is a speaker hole for, I believe, the Wonder Ride book. I don't get it, because the actual speaker is here. Because I forgot to point out that the speaker for the Noroshi is just back there. So obviously the whole gimmick of this one is that you can change it into two modes. So here's the handle portion of the Kaiji, which you can see it's just an empty black piece of plastic with empty slots. And obviously without the blade, it's a pretty light, and it's a fun box. Obviously here's the entire blade portion of the Kaiji, and obviously this is where you press either button to let go, to eject it out. So obviously we'll switch this to the spear mode, or the lance mode. So obviously this loses length because obviously you hold it. This is like a full-on spear, and you technically are supposed to hold it from here. And obviously this size doesn't really work, but you know what? I love this fork. Obviously I do like, I guess, the time aspects of this, because I forgot to mention that Sabella's element is smoke. So for some reason, because they already gave Blades water, they're like, yeah, this guy's ocean based, and yet we're gonna give him time. As you can see, some clock imagery and such, and it's like, woohoo! Ocean equals time. Anyways, let's just get to the sounds. So, obviously we got one basic slashing sound. And then if we pull this out, It's in a standby mode, which doesn't do anything until you slot this in. So now you're in the spear mode, to which you get, again, another singular attack. So you get, like, piercing sounds and such. So, again, nothing. But, yeah. So let's take a look at the Wonder Ride book. So here we have Ocean History. It's a... What gear was that? Oh, that was Avatar gear. Well, so, the cover is pretty neat. I like it. You know, again, just like Sabella, the cover page and these story page are completely new pieces. Sorry for going out of order. There's the Wonder text. Here's the story page. Look at all those animals. And the QR code for Gumbarizing. And obviously you can tell it's different because the order of the QR code's like exposed, and just because of how differently shaped the sticker is. The back is the same, obviously. Gold Wonder Mark. And then the transformation page. Again, really appreciative that's actually different. Story announcement. And passage. Obviously, this, I keep losing Avatar gears to the ground. Alright. So, obviously, we're going to take our Wonder Ride and slot it into the slot here, like so. It's kind of tight. It's tighter than Sabella's or the Naroshi. So you get this standby, and if you just press the button, you get nothing. So you have to press this button and, gosh darn it, and remove the blade portion. So you get this standby. Obviously, then you flip the blade portion to be the spear to complete the transformation. So there's the transformation of Ocean History, just typical Saberness. Yeah. So obviously here's the full thing. This is really difficult doing the Wonder Attack because the thing is that you have to hold the Wonder Ride book in because it wants to eject itself, and obviously I don't want that to happen because I don't want to go through the entire process. So you do still get the one attack. However, I don't remember what weapon. I think Arthur. If you press it up to more than 3 times, you get an attack. Which is pretty interesting. Now, obviously, when you're transformed, you can do Durandal's gimmick of being able to manipulate time. I don't know what it's called. But obviously, to start that, remove the blade. And then press the trigger. So obviously you're in the standby phase as you're manipulating time and such. And then I don't remember if you do anything with you press it. Yeah. So you load the blade back in. And then it will do this standby until you press the button again to set time back to normal. Obviously, to initiate the finisher, just simply pull this out and put it back in. So you get the Untitled Jikokuken. And there you get the finisher for the spear. Now you can still switch the mode of the Kaiji by simply switching. Obviously, this finisher still carries over. This also carries over. And then the finisher. So we get the sword finisher, which I don't believe he ever did. So that's basically it for the two modes. So again, to eject the book, press this blue button and pull it out. Thanks to this portion of the book, you can actually do it very easily. Now I'm gonna just switch to spear mode and hold the button down. To switch into secondary mode, just like the Noroshi. Obviously, to Wonder Rider up, we're gonna use Hoshi Kamen Engi. Because obviously I'm going to show that you can do the, it doesn't matter what form the sword, or like what form the blade is, because you can also transform with the sword. I definitely prefer that jingle a lot more. Also, just because the instruments they're using are very similar to the ones they've used for Inside Out from Decade versus Geo and Geo versus Decade. I think the attacks here are the same. And then this is obviously the same. Obviously, the only different thing is the Hisatsu Jikoku. Because obviously it doesn't say ocean, it says Kaiji. So, yeah, that's obviously the same. And to demonstrate, if you do just normally press this back, that. This thing's pretty weak. Sorry. You want a better version of that, watch the demo. Obviously, let's take a look at this within the sword driver. Obviously, this one makes a lot more sense for being blades. It's really neat that it does recognize that it's ocean, but just like Konchu, it's just the same Wonder Rider shenanigans. Wonder attack. Hisatsu Dokha. Hisatsu Reed. So happy in the reviews I don't have to do each individual one. Hisatsu Mokdok. And for equality's sake, obviously, just saying that it's animal, but at least its lights are coordinated with this. Yeah, dark water, let's put a girl in the water fountain. That movie was still pretty good though. I thought it was kind of horrifying when I was younger, but you know, obviously growing up, it's like, yeah, it's fine. Honestly, this is what happens when you tap. But yeah. Overall, my thoughts on this one is that it's interesting, definitely. Obviously, they kind of took the gimmick of the Oju Kensusune of having two modes. Excuse me, but the thing here is that obviously the two modes are still blade based. It's not like a sword and a gun. It's just, okay, here's a sword and here's a spear. What I at least commend this one for doing is actually acting differently. Because obviously everything functions by switching the blades around, not by the trigger press, which is interesting overall. Overall, it's just like, obviously I didn't get this willingly. This is Riken's. So I wouldn't have picked this up anyway, just because I'm not too big on Durandal. But if you are, obviously you have the upper hand on doing so. Obviously, I really like the Wonder Rider sound, but that's kind of it. And obviously, Zenkaiger kind of redeemed him. A show outside of a writer show. But kind of like the same deal as Sabella. I think because of their siblings that people really like putting together for some reason. I'm pretty sure because Sabella and Durandal are pretty popular. That's kind of the reason why their Seikens are $120 a piece. I don't recommend getting it for that price. It's not worth it. Get it for $60 and again, sacrifice the batteries. Still not worth it. But again, it's a Henshin Seiken. You're only gonna get Ocean out of everything you have this read in, so it's not as necessary. But unless you're pretty big on Durandal. But yeah, that'll have to do with this review. There's a power and LEV people. I gotta clean up my Avatar gears and Dark gears because, like, at least those collapse. At least it's not like the demo where the entire Daiza or the shelves fell. You will understand.